And away we go. It is another nightcap. It is, Tuesday, May 3rd, something like that.
All day.
Brought to you by Galactic Fried Chicken. Visit www.galacticfriedchicken.com to download the app for Android, iPhone, everything Galactic. Get to Galactic Fried Chicken in Dayton, Kentucky, and tell them to pump it up. Get yourself 15% off your order. You can also get the app, get it delivered pretty much through most of the 275 loop. They think they'll come all the way out to me in Independence. If they'll come all the way out to me in Independence, there's a good chance they'll come to you. Not you, Aaron.
No, not me.
But you listening inside the 275.
I think Ed said they'll go all the way up to Loveland.
Yeah, and that's a haul.
Yeah.
So, and the good thing is, like, it's so hot when they cook it that it's pretty warm still when it gets to you. We sat here and did Sunday night.
If not, just throw it in the air fryer.
Right, but we sat here, they got home right when we started that show on Sunday night.
Yeah,
like right before we started, and my fried chicken breast was still like above warm. It wasn't hot, obviously. It was still above warm over an hour later when we got done with the show. So you can get it delivered and not have to worry about, is it gonna hold? You were even happy with how the fries held. Or that was Jeff, right?
Yeah, that wasn't me. That was Jeff, but yeah.
Jeff got it sent pretty far and was like, the fries held pretty good. So Galactic Fried Chicken, do that now. Well, not now. They might be closed, depending on when you're listening. But tomorrow. How's tomorrow? All right, Aaron. So Brett McMurphy put it out this morning. We've been waiting for it. We were told something would come out this week. It's not final word, but it is kind of the direction that this thing is headed. UCF, Cincinnati, and Houston. Cincinnati and Houston, of course, only at this point because UCF allowed them to be. Finalizing their buyout agreement with the American. The range is $17 to $20 million. If you're in a $3 million range, this thing is going to get done. Essentially, what this means is we haven't crossed the finish line officially. We are at the finish line. If it's a marathon, we're in the last quarter mile of the marathon on the question of when will Cincinnati be in the Big 12? And the answer is going to be July 1st, 2023. So 14 months from now, Cincinnati will begin their journey in the Big 12.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. While we do have the dollar amount, it is a little bit higher than what we anticipated.
A touch, but that was simply based on UConn. It cost them $17 million to get out, and they were almost a year earlier in their exit trying to get out than Cincinnati, Houston, and UCF. So logic would say it would be lower than $17 million. But this is going to be losing UConn was not really all that much of a blow to the conference at all. Losing Cincinnati, Houston, and UCF is, in terms of monetarily, a significant, and based on what they're replacing them with, this is a significant loss for the American Conference. They're going to want a little bit of extra money. I thought it would be more around 15, right. But Oresco wanted 35. That's the starting number they came with.
Right.
If I thought it was 15 and it's going to end up somewhere between 17 and 20, yes. Okay, good. Let's go.
So, of course, you have, since UConn left, you had a pandemic in which every conference lost a shit ton of money, if we're being honest. And aside from that, at least we have the actual amount. I mean, to your point, it is a $3 million range, but it sounds like they're in a comfortable place. I would imagine that Cincinnati, having made the CFP last year, doesn't hurt them in this particular instance. I mean,
the question will be when you get to the Big 12, how long are you going to be restricted in your earnings. The early reports are that there will be a 2-year buildup into full earnings in the Big 12, which is not surprising considering their next TV deal starts in 2025. So
Well,
if you go in 2023, go ahead.
That's still significantly better than the deal that Rutgers and Maryland negotiated with the Big Ten.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Where I'm still not sure if they're earning money currently from
I
the
think
actual
Rutgers
conference.
next year might be up to like almost getting a full share. Like,
and that's damn near a decade.
The crazy thing is though, within 2 years, because the Big Ten's they're about to get a $1 billion deal.
Dumb money.
Right. They're gonna get $75 million a year. Within 2 years of getting a full payout, Rutgers is gonna be like,
worth it.
pay off the credit cards.
Well, I mean, considering their endowment is at like nothing at this point,
right?
Yeah, they're hurting for that. But this is not a Rutgers podcast.
So Cincinnati's going to take a little bit of a haircut the first 2 years or whatever, but you're still going to get significantly more than you were getting in the American.
Even taking that pay cut?
Oh yeah, like they're going to get more than $7 million. $7 million is all they got in the American. The Big 12 right now is at like 30. So if Cincinnati only gets half a share, they still get 15, which is double the American for 2 years, and then you jump up to 30.
And once you take the buyout out, I guess it's a wash.
Yeah. Hypothetically. I don't know what the numbers are going to be. I don't know what they look like. What is interesting is I know Wes is out there. I would assume Cunningham's out there. There's a bunch of people from UC in Phoenix right now for the Big 12 spring meetings.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that's where things will be talked about, like divisions and scheduling, and there's a lot going on behind the scenes that are going to be forefront issues when all of this becomes official. So they're laying the groundwork behind the scenes to kind of be out in front of it when this is what's happening. These schools are joining in 2023. This is our path forward. This is what we're going to do if Texas and Oklahoma are still here until 2025. Like a bunch of that stuff is the stuff that's happening right now. So,
well, with Cincinnati seeing record numbers of applications for new students to attend Cincinnati, I feel like they're kind of in a sweet spot right now. And this is all because of the house that Luke built, right?
Right. Momentum is a good thing, and there's a lot of momentum.
So I don't know. I mean, between the new conference, the indoor practice facility, having just made the CFP, just having the most draft picks you've ever had, the highest draft pick you've ever had, things continue to trend upward for this football team. Also, each of the last 3 years have been the highest rated recruiting class they've ever had. So we haven't even seen the highest recruits.
This one in 2023 is trending like skyrocket above that.
So
they just got an 86 quarterback that everybody went, it's pretty good.
Right. No one's even talking about it as like a big deal commitment outside of us. I don't know what your dog's doing. He's very interested in the corner, apparently.
My wife has an angiogram in the morning. So she's staying with her mom tonight to go to the angiogram because I have to be here with Kelsey to get her up and off to school. So Kelly's not here. So when Kelly's not here, he does weird things like stands in the corner while I'm doing a podcast.
That's the first time that's happened. That's interesting. We've done this.
Yeah.
I feel like we've done this probably 250 times now and never.
Well, he likes to lay in the corner of my office if Kelly's not here.
Okay.
So I think that was him just like getting ready to
finding a spot
down. Yeah, right here. But it just so happened that his little head popped up. He had to go to the vet today. He's traumatized. Like Kelly in the middle of a downpour was like, she said she was dragging him into the vet. And I'm like, do you want me to take them to the vet? She's like, I got it, because that's how she is. I got it. I'm fine. I got it. I got back. I was like, how'd it go? She's like, it went bad. It went bad. The other one, the little white guy, the little fluffy fluff ball, I guess apparently was just like, oh, okay. And he walked right into the PetSmart, and he walked right back to where the vet is, and he took a dump.
Getting back to the conference though,
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what the transition looks like for the teams coming in. As
In
we're
terms of,
well, just what the conference looks like as these three teams move out and the new teams move
you mean
in.
the American?
Yes,
Who gives a shit? I
just
don't
just
care. I don't
well,
care.
I mean I get the sentiment. Don't get me wrong, but I think it's just going to be kind of curious to see what shambles Memphis and
Yeah.
who else is there to really talk?
Hey,
SMU.
look, man. Nobody cared about Cincinnati when the Big East split up and Cincinnati was left holding the bag.
You're right.
There was nobody like, oh man, I feel really bad for Cincinnati.
I'm not saying I feel bad. Don't get it twisted. It's just a matter of I'm just curious to see what it looks like if they're left with like what 9 teams, 11 teams, whatever it's at.
12. They go to 9. They're adding 6 though.
Right. Well, I just wonder if it's going to be like
Like
like a migration all at once, or if there's going to be like
no, they're
what?
all. That was kind of what we talked about. Is like the American wanted UC, UCF, and Houston kind of gone, just in the sense that these other 6 teams are wanting in, right? Like they want to cut of this action. Like they're jumping to get into the American.
Yeah.
So and the American wasn't going to be able to have 18 teams.
No.
Right.
No.
Right. So or whatever it would have been if you kept Cincinnati, Houston, and our savior Central Florida Golden Knights. So yeah, they had to clear the deck. Like that, they had to clear the deck. So
yeah,
what's going to be interesting for Cincinnati is like
how long Texas and Oklahoma stick around.
Yes and no. Like I think it's still like they're to get a chance to maybe one of those come to Nippert. That would be
phenomenal.
Like that would be pretty sweet. Like to get an Oklahoma. Like we've had Oklahoma at Paul Brown.
I take
get Oklahoma on campus at Nippert or Texas on campus at Nippert.
I want Texas in the worst way.
Just because they're bad right now?
Well, no. Just to basically just rub their nose in it. Like we've already had that opportunity with Oklahoma, right?
Yeah. Didn't win, but
well, still, I mean, we had the opportunity.
Right.
When are we going to get Texas at Nippert ever again?
Never.
Never, ever. So take that opportunity right now, rub their nose in it, and be done.
The interesting thing will be once it's official is there even more of a bump into recruiting. Like, right? I think we're already seeing the impacts. I wonder if there will be more of an impact when there's like a hard and fast. If you're a class of 2023, not you might play in the Big 12 or not you should play in the Big 12, but a definitive, here's the date, here's the time. When you get to campus, we're going to be a Big 12 program.
And maybe that's the difference between somebody from Lakota going to Cincinnati as opposed to up 71.
Ohio State's still going to be Ohio State, man.
Right, but I mean, when you are that close, I don't know. I mean, maybe that's the difference.
Maybe. I'm still working under the impression that Ohio State's going to, by and large, they're going to get what they want, and that's okay.
I think it makes the conversation a little more difficult.
Sure, and it opens the door to the fact that they're, instead of like 95-5, Ohio State gets what they want, it might be 85-15. And if that, all of a sudden now there's maybe 2 or 3 kids on your roster that would have been there that are now here, maybe that changes things. So I get what you're saying. I just don't anticipate like all of a sudden some huge paradigm shift where Ohio State isn't getting what they want in the state.
No, and I certainly am not trying to say that. I just think that sometimes
you know me, I like to you say things and then fans take it and
I'm the voice of the fan. They're already saying these things.
I like to throw a little water on the fire. Like I don't want to put it out. I just don't want it raging.
You're not blowing it. You're just kind of letting it slow build. It's fine.
Right. It's like the people who I talked about this today. The people that every day for 16 years have been having Bob Huggins, Mick Cronin arguments on Bearcat Journal. And it's like they're punching the time clock at work. Like, oh, somebody mentioned Huggins. Ka-ching. I got to give my same thoughts that I've given for 16 years.
Do they have alerts set up for this stuff?
Probably. I think it's intuitive. Like it's instinctual by now.
They feel it.
Like
their spidey senses are tingling.
Yeah. Their wives are like, "What are you doing?" And it's like, I got
someone mentioned Bob Huggins.
I got to get on BCJ. Oh shit!
That's actually what the security guard was doing, and when you left that concert,
that's exactly what somebody had to mention McCurran while I was in this concert. Oh man! All right, well that's gonna do it for tonight. We will see you tomorrow. This is the Nightcap, brought to you by Galactic Fried Chicken, right here on BearcatJournal.com.
See ya!